Stand here in the year 1500, and the ground beneath your feet does not exist. There is no bedrock, no solid earth, just water, mud, and the impossible ambition of a people who refused to accept that a city could not be built on the sea. And yet somehow, against every law of nature, Venice became the richest city in the world. Picture 118 islands stitched together by canals, bridges, and sheer stubbornness. No horses, no carriages, no roads in the way the rest of Europe understood roads. Only water, moving beneath every doorway, carrying every merchant, every secret, every fortune in and out of the lagoon. By the 1500s, Venice is not just a city. It is an empire disguised as a city. Its ships touch every port from Alexandria to London. Its glassmakers guard secrets punishable by death. Its bankers hold the debts of kings. But none of it was inevitable. This is the story of how a swamp became the most powerful trading empire on Earth, and how gold, glass, and greed nearly tore it apart from the inside. 1,500 years earlier, refugees fled here to escape barbarian invasions, hiding in the marshes because no army would follow them into the mud. Nobody believed a permanent city could survive on wooden pilings driven into the lagoon floor. And yet, by the 1500s, over 100,000 people lived stacked above those same pilings, in stone palaces that seemed to float on the water itself. Wander the Rialto at dawn, and you will hear 100 languages before breakfast. Arabic merchants haggling over spices, German bankers counting silver, Greek sailors unloading crates of Cypriot wine. This was the beating heart of Venetian trade, and it never stopped moving. There are no streets in the way you imagine them. Instead, gondolas glide silently through narrow canals, black and sleek, steered by men who know every hidden turn of the city by instinct alone. Above them, laundry stretches between buildings like flags of surrender to ordinary life. Below, the water carries everything. Fish from the Adriatic, timber from Dalmatia, cotton from Egypt. And at the center of it all sits the Rialto Bridge, wooden in these years, sagging under the weight of merchants shouting prices in a dozen currencies. This is where Venice makes its money, and money here is everything. At the far end of the Grand Canal stands the Doge's Palace, dripping in pink and white marble, deliberately built to look delicate, almost weightless. But do not be fooled. Behind those lace-like walls sits one of the most ruthless political systems in Europe. The Doge is elected for life, yet watched every moment by councils designed specifically to strip him of real power. Venice fears one thing above all else: a single man seizing control of the Republic. So they built an entire government engineered around suspicion. Spies, anonymous denunciation boxes carved into palace walls. A secret council so feared it needed no name beyond the 10. In Venice, power is beautiful, and power is terrifying, often in the very same breath. Across the water on the island of Murano, furnaces burn day and night, glowing orange against the darkness. Inside these furnaces, glassblowers create mirrors so perfect, so impossibly clear, that kings across Europe pay fortunes just to see their own reflection without distortion. This is Venetian glass, the most advanced technology of its age. And the secret is so valuable that the Republic makes a chilling decision. Glassmakers may live in luxury on Murano, but if they try to leave Venice and take their knowledge elsewhere, the punishment is death. Some fled anyway. Few survived the assassins sent after them. Every ship that enters the lagoon carries a story. Pepper from India that once traveled through a dozen hands before reaching Venetian warehouses. Silk from China, softer than anything European hands have touched. Cinnamon, saffron, indigo dye worth more per ounce than silver. Venice does not produce these treasures. Venice controls the routes that carry them. And that control is worth more than any gold mine. But far to the west, a shift is beginning. Portuguese sailors have found a sea route around Africa to India. Whispers reach the Rialto that spices may soon bypass Venice entirely. For the first time in centuries, the city that controls the world's trade begins to feel the ground shift beneath it, quite literally. Wealth this immense comes with a shadow. Disease moves through crowded canals faster than any army. Plague strikes Venice repeatedly through this century. The city responds by building isolation islands, forcing ships to wait offshore for 40 days before docking. A practice so significant, it gives the world a new word: quarantine, from the Venetian quarantagiorni. Fire is just as merciless. Wooden buildings packed shoulder to shoulder mean a single spark can devour entire districts within hours. Venice rebuilds again and again, stone replacing wood, ambition replacing ash. As night falls over the lagoon, something changes. Venice becomes a city of masks. Quite nobles and servants alike disappear behind porcelain faces during Carnival, blurring class, identity, even gender, for weeks at a time. Behind these masks, gambling houses operate in candlelit rooms. Forbidden love affairs unfold in gondolas gliding through fog. Political rivals speak freely, protected by anonymity. For a city built on suspicion and surveillance, the mask becomes a strange kind of freedom, one night allowing what daylight forbids. And yet, despite plague, fire, shifting trade routes, and the constant threat of collapse, Venice does not fall. Not yet. It bends. It adapts. It rebuilds on the very same wooden pilings that should never have held a city at all. By the end of the 1500s, Venice stands as proof that human ambition can outlast impossible odds, that a swamp can become an empire. The lagoon that once hid frightened refugees now holds one of the richest cities the world has ever known. History never truly disappears. It simply waits beneath the water for someone willing to look closer. If this journey through Venice pulled you in, because there are cities like this hiding in every corner of history, waiting to be rebuilt one more time, and tell me in the comments, which lost city or empire should we bring back to life next?